Good morning, boys and girls. It's Monday. All right. We are going to read our Reading Street story today. You should have the math lesson up as well, so you can view that. All right. So our Reading Street story this week is Goodbye 382 Shin Dang Dong. Not sure what it's about, so I'm excited to read it with you guys. This page is 262 to 279. All right. So go to page 262 for me, please. Okay. You're going to follow along as I read, and then I would like for you to read it on your own later today or read it with a parent later today. Or your big brother or big sister, read it to them. All right, here's our packet for the week. You guys should have this at home. All right, remember you have a couple worksheets to do. Okay, you have the spelling worksheet to do. You have our vocab worksheet to do today. All right, on the bottom it says, write 2 sentences about a time when you had to say goodbye to someone. Try to use 2 vocab words in there as well. All right? And then you got your stuff for Tuesday and Wednesday. You got your stuff for Thursday, and then our test on Friday. Okay? And then there's there's a spelling test on the back to do that as well. All right, just tell your parents to hold on to the spelling test for now. Not sure when we're going to get them back or how we're going to grade them yet. We're still trying to figure all that out from the principal and all that. All right, guys? All right, so you should be on page 262, so we can read Goodbye 382 Shin Dang Dong. All right, we have a special guest with us today. There's Kinley. Everybody say hi. Oops, sorry, you guys can't see her. There you are. You got her. All right? And the wife's floating around somewhere in the back. Max, don't be looking at my wife, all right? Okay, page 382. I got to find it in my big book here. I got my teacher's edition book. All right. 362 we're on. All right. Genre. I'm going to read the genre for us here. Realistic fiction. Tells about events that could happen in real life. All right. I think last week's story was realistic fiction too, so we should be pretty familiar with what that is. Question of the week. Why is it hard to adapt to a new culture? So let's think about that as we read. All right. Page 264. We got a couple vocab words on here, so make sure we know what they mean. Memories and raindrops. Both of them are pretty easy. You should know what those are. My heart beats in 2 places. Here, where I live, and also in a place where I once lived. You see, I was born in Korea. One day, my parents told me we were moving to America. I was 8 years old, so right about the same age you guys are, 8, 9 years old. Old enough to keep many lovely memories of my birthplace alive in my heart forever. But one very sad memory stays with me too. The day I cried. Goodbye, 382 Shin Dang Dong. On that summer day, I woke up to the sound of light rain tapping at my window. The monsoon season was coming. I didn't even need to open my eyes to know that. It was that time of year. It was also time to move. In a few hours, I would be on an airplane. When I opened my eyes, my heart sank. My bedroom was so bare. Bare means empty. It was so empty. No hand-painted scrolls or colorful fans on my walls. No silk cushions or straw mats on my floor. All my possessions were packed away in a big brown box marked lovely things. All right. I frowned and listened to the raindrops. 1, 2, 3. Soon the thick of the monsoon would arrive, and 1,000 raindrops would hit the clay-tiled roof all at once. But I wouldn't be here to listen to them. I would be halfway around the world in a strange foreign place called 112 Forest Terrace, Brighton, Massachusetts, USA. So he's moving from Korea to Massachusetts. All right. All right, let's go to page 265. That's a picture. All right, she's looking out the window. She's seeing the rain. Next page, page 266, Natalie and Brendan. Come on, 266, let's go. All right. My parents were very excited. Jangmi, Jangmi, you will like America, Dad tried to assure me. Are the seasons the same? I wondered. Oh yes, with monsoon rains? No, Jangmi. No monsoon rains. No friends either, I moaned. You will make many new friends in America, Mom promised me, in your new home. But I loved my home right here. I didn't want to go to America and make new friends. I didn't want to leave my best friend Kasuni. After breakfast, Kasuni and I ran out into the rain into the open market. Monsoon season was also the season for sweet yellow lemons called chummy. Kasuni and I would often peel and eat chummy under the willow tree that stood outside my bedroom window. But today, the chummy were for guests who were coming over for a farewell lunch. All right, farewell's another. Oh, there's the wife in the background. Say hi, Alicia.
Hi, third graders.
All right, keep your eyes off her, Max. All right, farewell's a vocab word. You should know what that means. At the market, we peered into the endless baskets and took our time choosing the ripest, plumpest chummy we could find. Do they have chummy in America? Kasuni wondered. No, I replied, but my mom says they have melons called honeydew. Honeydew? Kasuni giggled. What a funny name. Ooh, who likes honeydew? Show of hands. Tell me. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's not my favorite fruit, but it's not bad. All right, so there's a picture of him on page 267 at the market. Trying to find some chummy. All right, Anthony, page 268 for me. Pay attention there, Juliana. All right, 268, they're at their farewell lunch. All right, Cole, we're on page 269. Soon after we returned, family and friends began to arrive, carrying pots and plates of food. One by one, they took off their shoes. They entered the house. Grandmother was dressed in her most special occasion hanbok. She set up the long bap saying, and before I could even blink, on it were a big pot of dumpling soup and the prettiest pastel rice cakes I had ever seen. Kasuni and I peeled and sliced our chummy and carefully arranged the pieces on a plate. Then everybody ate and sang traditional Korean songs and celebrated in a sad way. Love and laughter and tears rippled through our house. How I wanted to pack up these memories into a big brown box and bring them with me to America. Kasuni and I sneaked outside and sat beneath the willow tree. We watched the rain with glum faces. Kasuni, I wish we never had to move from this spot, I said. Me too, she sighed. Jangmi, how far away is America? My mom said it's halfway around the world. My dad told me that when the moon is shining here, the sun is shining there. That's how far apart we'll be, I moaned. That's really far, Kasuni moaned back. We watched the rain and grew more glum than ever. Then Kasuni perked up. So when you're awake, I'll be asleep, and when I'm awake, you'll be asleep, she declared. At least we'll always know what the other one is doing. That's true. All right, Taylor and Emma, we're on page 270. Let's get there, please. All right. Follow along with me here, Jaden and Cooper. Come on. That moment, our faces brightened. But a moment later, we had to say goodbye. Kasuni held back her tears. Promise you'll write to me, Jangmi? I promise, Kasuni. It's time to go to the airport. Kimpo Airport, Dad instructed the taxi driver. The taxi slowly pulled away. I looked at our beautiful home one last time. Like rain on the window, tears streaked down my face. Goodbye, 382, Shin Dang Dong, I cried. All right there, Soph and Andrew, come on. Hey. Sorry, can there's me acting up. On the long ride to the airport, Dad asked me, do you want to know what your new home looks like? Okay, I shrugged. Let's see, Dad began. It's a row house, a house that's attached to other houses, Mom explained. And inside the house are wooden floors, Dad added. No Ondol floors? I asked him. How will we keep warm in the winter without Ondol floors? There are radiators in every room, Mom said with an enthusiastic clap. Pay attention there, Riley. I see you falling asleep. And a fireplace in the living room. Imagine! Who's got a fireplace in the living room? Anybody? We do. It's right over here. See, I'll show you guys. I'll take a little break. Say hi to Kinley. There's our little fireplace. Right there. And the wife's got a lot of pictures on there. She is a picture fan. All right. Where did we leave off here? All right. We're halfway down the page there, Logan and Beezy. So let's keep reading along where it starts. No, I could not imagine that. In our home, we had a fire in the cellar called the Ondel. It stayed lit all the time. The heat from the Ondel traveled through the underground pipes and kept our wax-covered floors warm and cozy. A fireplace in the living room sounded peculiar to me. Peculiar means weird. All right, sounds a little odd to me. All right, did you know that one, Aiden? And the rooms are separated by wooden doors, Mom added. No rice paper doors? I wondered. No, my parents shook their head. No, Jangmi. My eyes closed with disappointment. I had a hard time picturing this house. Would it ever feel like home? What do you think, Andrew? You think I'd ever feel like home? So let's pause there for a second. Let's talk about the different culture of just in their houses, what their houses would look like. In America, we have wooden doors, wooden floors, all right? In Korea, they had Ondol floors where the fire was in the basement and the smoke would come up through the pipes, the underground pipes, and keep the floors warm. We have radiators and heaters. They don't. We have fireplaces in the living room. They have them downstairs in the cellar. All right, so little things that are different. They have rice paper doors that are not made out of wood. They're made out of rice paper. If you don't know what it is, Google it. All right, page 272 there, Summer. 272 there. On the airplane, I sat by the window. We flew over rice fields and clay-tiled floors. Already, I felt homesick. The next thing I knew, we were flying over the ocean. At first, I could see fishing boats rocking in the waters. As we climbed higher into the clouds, the boats grew smaller and smaller. Suddenly, the world looked very big to me. Goodbye, 382 Shin Dang Dong, I cried. Dad sat back in his seat and began to read an American newspaper. The words were all foreign. Dad, I asked, how will I ever learn to understand English? It's not so hard, he said. Would you like to learn an English word? Okay, I sighed. After a pause, Dad came up with rose. Rose? I repeated. What does that mean? That's the English transition for your Korean name. So Jangmi means rose in English. So if you wanted to learn Korean today there, BZ, all you had to say was Jangmi. That means rose. Rose means Jangji? I asked. Yes, my parents nodded. Rose, I said over and over. Would you like to adopt Rose as your American name? Mom asked me. No, I like my name, I insisted. And there's a picture of her flying on page 273. Show of hands, who's been on planes before? Who's flown before? Who's been on a plane? I have, lots of times. All right, so how do you think Jang Ji is feeling right now? Probably pretty upset, definitely sad. All right, she didn't want to go. Also, what do you think 382 Shin Ding Dong means? I know some of you think you know the answer. If you're saying address, their address in Korea, I think you would be correct. I think that's what their address in Korea was, 382 Shin Ding Dong. Okay, 274, they arrive in America to their new home. Page 275 for me, please, there, Landry and Emma. On a foggy morning 4 days later, we arrived in Massachusetts. 4 days later. After we gathered our luggage, we climbed into an airport taxi. Even through the fog, I could see that things were very different in America. There were big, wide roads called highways. The rooftops were shingled instead of clay tiled. People shopped in glass enclosed stores instead of open markets. No rice fields, no monsoon rains. So many foreign faces. So they had open markets. All right, we saw a few pages back what an open market looked like. Now, here in America, we have stores. All right, they're all enclosed. All right, we got big, wide roads called highways. They don't always have those. All right. Slowly, the taxi pulled up to a row house on a quiet street. Red brick steps led up to a wooden door. Here we are, Jangmi, Dad said. 112 Forest Terrace, Brighton, Massachusetts, USA. The house was just as my parents had described. Describes a vocab word, you should know what it means. I took off my shoes and walked on wooden floors. They felt very cold. I opened wooden doors. They felt very heavy. Outside the fog had lifted, but inside everything felt dark and strange. Look, Dad pointed out the window. There's a tree, just like the one at home. No, it's not, Dad. It's not a willow tree, I said. No, he agreed. It's a maple tree, but isn't it beautiful? 382 Shin Dang Dong. 382 Shin Dang Dong. I wanted to go home to 382 Shin Dang Dong right now. I'm thinking that's their address there, Riley. Only a knock at the door saved me from tears. Mom announced, "The movers are here!" It's 277, or 276. 276, Jaden. All right, the house quickly filled up with furniture and big brown boxes. The box marked Lovely Things was the last to arrive. But remember, Lovely Things, Cole, was her box. I unpacked all my possessions. I hung my hand-painted scrolls and colorful fans on the walls. I placed my silk cushions and straw mats on the floor. Then came another knock. To our surprise, a parade of neighbors waltzed in carrying plates of curious food. Curious is a vocab word, know what it means. There were pink and white iced cakes and warm pans containing something called casseroles. Casseroles are delicious. A girl my age wandered up to me with a small glass bowl. Inside the bowl were colorful balls. They smelled fruity. She pointed to a red ball and said, "Watermelon." She pointed to an orange ball and said, "Cantaloupe." Lastly, she pointed to a green ball and said, "Honeydew." I took the green ball and tasted it. It was as sweet and delicious as chummy. Remember, they talked about honeydew earlier. The girl asked me a question, but I couldn't understand her. She wants to know what kind of fruit you eat in Korea, Dad stepped in. Chummy, I replied. Chummy, the girl repeated, then giggled. Just like kusuni. All right, delicious was a vocab word too. That's a pretty good, easy word too. That means tastes great, right? It's a nice vocab word. Okay. Page 277. That's them eating their food. Page 278. She asked me another question. She wants to know your name, Dad said. Maybe someday I would adopt Rose as my American name, but not today. Jangmi, I replied. Jangmi, the girl smiled. My name is Mary. Mary, I smiled back. I made a new friend. Later, when all the guests had gone, I went outside and sat under the maple tree. Dad was right. It was beautiful. Maybe someday Mary and I would sit beneath this tree and watch the rain fall. And maybe I would love it. I would come to love it as much as our willow tree back home in Korea. But not today. I began to write. Dear Kusuni, my best friend was so far away from me. So very far. But at least I knew where Kusuni was and what she was doing. She was halfway around the world, sleeping to the sound of the 1,000 raindrops hitting her clay tile floor all at once. And there's her writing her letter. And we are done for the day, for that story. Let's go over vocab words real quick, all right? So get out your sheet that looks like this. All right, your family time sheet, your weekly one. Airport, pretty easy. Place where airplanes take off and land. Curious, strange, odd, or unusual. Kind of like me. I'm curious. delicious, tastes great, pleasing to the taste. Described means gave a picture of something in words. So if you had to describe to me what your house looked like, or what your clothes you were wearing for the day, or what meal you ate. All right, farewell means goodbye and good luck. Homesick, sad because being away from someone's home or family, from one's home or family. Memories, people, events, and things you remember. We all have memories. When we get back to school, make some more good ones. All right, raindrops or drops of rain, that's pretty easy. And the cellar is an underground room, all right, like your basement. Okay, you should know our vocab words for the week. All right, we read our story. Let's go back to our beginning of the story where we talked about our question of the week. Okay, so back to page 262 for me there, Taylor. Say, why is it so hard, or why is it hard to adapt to a new culture? Well, it was hard for Jangmi to adapt because she didn't speak the language. All right, she didn't know what the foods there were. She didn't know what the house looked like. She didn't know where anything was. All right, imagine you guys just up and left to Korea right now. All right, imagine Taylor. Mom's like, we're going to Korea. All right, Emma, you've been all over the place, Connecticut and all that. When you move places, you don't know a lot of things. It's hard to adapt to a new culture. You have to learn new things. Okay. And Uncle, just imagine you. Mom saying, we're going to Korea. Let's see if we can learn Korean. You got to learn the Korean language, their food, where everything is, how they live. All right, it's tough to adapt to a new culture. Okay? All that stuff makes it tough. New language, new food, new places, new lifestyle. They do things there that we don't do here. They have different houses. They have different lifestyles, open markets. Makes things difficult. Okay. You have your math to do as well, your math video. Read this story again either today or tomorrow with your parents, please. All right. And if you haven't submitted your ELA Reading Street test yet, please do so on Google Forms so I can grade it and get your grades out to you today and tonight. Tell your parents I haven't had a chance to grade the test yet. I'll grade them, and they'll get your grades later today. All right. Any questions, send me a message on Google Classroom. Have your parents text me, call me, email me, anything of the sort. Also, Friday, we are having a Zoom meeting. All right. We're having a Zoom meeting. You guys should have done Zoom with your special area teachers on Wednesdays. You're doing another Zoom meeting with your special area teachers on Wednesday. We're doing one on Friday. Tell your parents I'll have more information about that as we get closer to Friday. Okay? Have a good rest of the week, guys. If you need anything, let me know. Bye.